Good morning. This is Crocker's Crazy Living. Today is Monday, Martin Luther King Jr. Day. I'm off work. So today we're going to do a homemade fresh strawberry jam. Yesterday here in Florida, it was quite the chilly, windy, rainy, soppy kind of a day. We went to Hunsader Farms up in Sarasota to go strawberry picking. The whole family did. And it was soggy up there. It was a little flooded, with rain that we've been getting. Luckily, nobody got stuck with their vehicles. But I think if it was that bad, they probably would have not let people in there, or not let people park where we were parking, because it was quite wet. Stepping in water holes that we didn't realize were there, and getting our feet soaked, and it was cold, it was wet. Most people would have said we were crazy because it was miserable, but it wasn't horrible. It wasn't raining on us. It sprinkled a couple of times, but you know what? There were quite a few people out there, so I was pretty surprised by that. So we ended up getting like 4 pounds of berries. They opened picking, I think, at the beginning of January. But in my opinion, it's really hard when you go picking anything, because in the summertime or in the springtime, when we go picking blueberries, we don't want to go too early because they're too green, and you don't want to go too late because then they're picked over and you can't get anything. It's really hard. And it's the same thing with strawberries. We decided to go this time thinking that we would have better luck getting good berries. But there was a lot of berries that were still green. There was a lot of withered berries, like withered, like in the weather, like not rotten, but just withery looking, not fresh looking. Well, we picked a bunch of those because they were ripe, and they taste good. I got them all fixed here. I'll show you some of the berries. I saved some back to maybe eat with ice cream or something. So this is how my berries looked. They don't look bad. They taste delicious. It was just hard going. Last year we went the beginning of February, and I thought that was pretty hard going too, but I guess it was easier than it was this time. Anyway, so I'm going to make some fresh strawberry cooked jam, and it takes 5 cups of crushed berries, which I have here, and 7 cups of sugar. So I'm going to get my sugar out and see if I have 7 cups. I should have. If I don't, I'll have to go borrow some. So I'm going to measure my sugar in a separate bowl. So I got this nice Temptation bowl that I'm going to just try to measure my 7 cups of sugar in. I should have enough. I had that container's full. You want to measure your sugar. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Ooh, with a little bit to spare. That was full. A little bit to spare. So you want to measure out your sugar separately, because how you're going to do this, and I'm sure if you guys watched any of my other videos, you'll know that you have to measure your sugar separately, because you put your fruit in your pan with your Sure-Jell packet. that looks like this. And then you bring it to a full rolling boil, and then you dump in your sugar and you boil it 1 minute. Exactly 1 minute. So I'm going to measure out my fruit. I need 5 cups. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That was close, with a little bit to spare. So that was about 4 pounds of berries. Because when I tried to figure out what I paid for them, they're $3 a pound. It came up like 4.33 is most likely what I picked, about 4 pounds. All right, turn this on. Put my sugar gel in here. Now the recipe does say to put a little bit of butter in there. If your berries, when they start boiling, if they foam up, it keeps the foaming down, and it's optional. You don't have to do it, but I will. I'll just put a glob of butter in there. Maybe a tablespoon. I don't know how much it was exactly. I just some in there. Try to rinse out my sink. Okay, and then I'm going to start stirring this. I wish my camera would come down, my thing would come down just a little bit more. It's really hard to get it to where you can see what I'm doing. It smells really good. I crushed them with my hands, and I used my tool, my Pampered Chef tool, to chop them up really good. Chop them up. I'll just use my masher and mash them up a little bit more. Nope, my handle coming off here. It's an antique masher. I might not be able to. Uh-oh. I heard that fly. Maybe I don't think it went in here. No, I don't see it. I heard it fall. I heard it fly. Might have just. Yeah, get my other masher. That's not going to work. Find my other masher. I have just an ordinary masher. Here it is. I have a couple mashers in there, I guess. So I'm just going to mash these down a little bit more. Tried crushing them with my hands. So the ones that were a little bit unripe are the ones that aren't completely crushed yet. I'll just take my masher and mash them up a little bit more. Usually your hands are the best mashers. And I mashed them, but there's still some in here that are kind of chunky. I don't mind chunky. I just don't need like whole berries. There's some little ones in here that were hard for me to mash. Okay. I don't even know if I'm going to can this. I might just put it in containers. Stick it in the fridge, depending on how fast we eat it. I don't think you can freeze cooked jam. I don't know why you can't. I don't make the freezer jam anymore. My son's like, why don't you make that freezer jam anymore? And I said, because it's too hard to stir. When you have berries, and then you have to add so much sugar, and you got to stir it for like, I don't know, it seems like a long time. This I only have to stir for 1 minute. while it's boiling. But the freezer type, you got to stir it longer. And my arm just falls off because you got to keep stirring it to dissolve the sugar. And it's not that easy. When I used to make the freezer jam all the time when my kids were little, I made the peach. My kids took turns stirring it, and I was only in my 50s back then, 40s, 50s back then, and I can't stir like that anymore. It's just too much on me. I just can't do it. I'm wondering if I should just go ahead and just dump this fruit in there. They tell you to measure things exact, but honestly, I got this little tiny bit. I'm going to do it. If it doesn't set, then it's my fault. It's not ideal to do that. You need exact measurements, but you know what? I'm not too worried about it today. A mess before it stains my counter. Don't want it to stain up my countertop. Man, does that smell good. Wish I had smell-o-vision for things that smell good. It really does smell good. I made strawberry jam years ago with just your ordinary commercial strawberries. And I don't know, there's just something different about fresh picked strawberries. They taste better. They smell better. Most of your commercial ones that are cooked or grown, they're grown in greenhouses and stuff, and they just don't have the flavor that nature gives them. The sun, you know, and the fresh air, you know, they're in a greenhouse. And I don't know, there's something about it. So I think because picking was so difficult for us, we're going to try to go to Plant City and go to one of the U-Pick farms in Plant City. Tiffany's got a co-worker friend that went with us, and she said, man, I need to take you guys, and she's from Plant City. She says, I need to take you guys up to Plant City to the farm that they used to go to and get pick berries, because she says it's not as hard as this, and they're really, really good berries. But you know, that's where the strawberries from Florida come from. They come from Plant City. We went to Hunsader's in Sarasota. But we did also go over to the tomato field. They have a U-Pick tomato area. And I'm telling you what, there's thousands of tomato plants. And they had tons of tomatoes. So we picked ripe ones, almost ripe ones, and we picked green ones. Because my son wants me to make fried green tomatoes tonight, so I'm gonna make that. We had some when we were on vacation in July at a catfish restaurant in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, and it was delicious. So I found a really good recipe on Pinterest, and we're gonna try to make them tonight. Let's see how they do. So you want to bring your strawberries up to a full rolling boil. I have it on about medium-high. You don't want them, I used to always do it on high, but you don't really want them that high because you don't want your berries to scorch. And it will scorch. So I got them about medium-high. And I'm just stirring it. Man, does that smell good. And when they come to a full rolling boil, then you add your sugar. I reserved some in case I want to put them in something. You know, you can put them in yogurt. You can slice them up, put them on some vanilla ice cream. Maybe make some strawberry shortcake. I cheat with a strawberry shortcake. I just go to the store and get a pound cake or angel food cake. We like angel food cake. I like pound cake. And then I'd mash up the berries so it's like this, like the sauce. And then put it on top, of course, with your whipped cream. Maybe I'll turn it up just a little bit, get these boiling. Of course. Doesn't matter what I do, I always get stuff on me. Always get stuff on my clothes. I need to start wearing my aprons. These stoves are kind of weird too because your burners on these glass top, it doesn't stay on high. It goes on and off. On and off, on and off. I don't know if it does that for even cooking, but it makes it really difficult when I try to pressure can stuff because it doesn't want to keep boiling and bringing it up to pressure, and that makes it difficult. But I have to figure that out. I had to get this one. It's used because my other one, they had just the regular burners. It just stopped working. I had lost a burner in the back. It broke. But then it just stopped working and it started sparking. And I'm like, no thanks. Careful when you're stirring because it especially when this stuff boils like this because it burns. There ain't nothing worse than, right, now the sugar's going in. There ain't nothing worse than a hot fruit burn, or the other one is hot glue. That hurts. And anything with any kind of hot syrup, it hurts when you burn yourself for sure. Alright, so you pour your sugar in and then you stir it till it comes back to a boil. As soon as it comes back to a boil, then you time it for 1 minute. I gotta get this sugar off my burner. The other day I spilled salt on my burner and it burnt to my stove and it made a mark and it never came off. As much as I clean it, it doesn't come off. I don't even have jelly jars, so I'll just I'll have to cook it and put it in plastic container or something. Maybe I'll go to Dollar General and see if I can find some plastic containers that we used to do our jams in all the time. My husband and I did pretty good with the picking. We actually got berries that were pretty ripe. Some of the kids were picking them with white tops on them still, and we were like, But I think my daughter, I think she uses her strawberries just for freeze. She freezes them and puts them in smoothies. My son wants to make jam with his. Sometimes when you get your berries and they're really ripe, you have to clean them right away. And then what I suggest is spread them on a sheet pan with parchment paper, throw them in your freezer and flash freeze them, and then you can put them in vacuum seal bags and vacuum seal them. And then pop them in your freezer, and then you'll have nice strawberries all summer long, all winter long, all summer long. Whenever you want strawberries. You can even just do this, well, without the pectin. Just cook them down with sugar, and then you can put them in ice cream, in your milkshakes. You can put them in a smoothie. Would have sugar in it though. Ice cream would be good. Pouring some of this in your ice cream maker. You're making ice cream. Yep. Oh, it smells so good. See, the cooked method for me is just a lot easier. It's a lot easier. It's not as much stirring. And it's delicious. Comes out really good. And if you can it and put it in jars and water bath it, well, I won't be able to do that till later. My friend's coming to pick me up at 10:30. And we're going to go out for lunch and go shopping. She got a Victoria's Secret card for Christmas, so we're gonna go. We're gonna go to shopping there, and she's gonna spend her card. See, the berries cooked down. They cooked down quite a bit. Probably didn't even need to mash them anymore, but that's okay. It takes a few minutes to bring this back up to a boil. A couple weekends ago, we went out to Arcadia with some friends, and we went to Joshua Groves, and they had you pick lemons. So they were 25 cents a lemon, for $1. So I picked about 35 lemons. Paid like $8 for them, something like that, $8.50. And came home and I juiced them all, and I actually got, let me see how big these bottles are. Oh, there's no label on them. Hang on. 6.9 fluid ounce water bottle of lemon juice that I froze for lemon meringue pie or whatever I need lemon juice for. Basically, I froze it so if I want to make a lemon meringue pie, all I gotta do is pull a bottle out of the freezer and I have lemon juice for the lemon meringue pie. I should make that too soon. Alright, this is starting to boil, so I'm going to set my timer. For 1 minute. See, that butter is supposed to stop that foaming. It still foams. It's not a big deal. The directions actually tell you to skim off that foam. I don't do that. I'm going to turn this down because that was really boiling. Okay, that was 1 minute. I'm just going to take this off the heat. And I'm going to let it sit there until I figure out what I'm going to use to put the jam in. Won't hurt nothing. Maybe I'll go see if I can find some jars to put it in. Or run over to the store and get some plastic containers. I gotta let that cool down before I put it in the plastic containers. So that's it for today for homemade fresh strawberry jam. Thank you for joining me at Cracker's Crazy Living. If you like what you see, you have not yet subscribed to my page, please hit the subscribe button below. Hit the like my page. Share me with your friends. If you have questions or comments, please leave them in the comment area, and I will do my best to answer your questions or your comments. And have a great day. It's looking still kind of gloomy outside here in Florida, but sorry about that. But not as bad as yesterday. I think we are going to get more rain today, though. So anyway, have a wonderful, blessed week, and I'll see you next time on Cracker's Crazy Living. Thanks for joining. Bye.